Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging. Well, coming at you with thoughts of the day. I was able to get see a little pink today because I sat out in the fake sun. And it worked. In fact, it made me very tired afterward. Yeah, I just wanted to tell you something cute. I'm going to move around a little bit in my squeaky chair. This morning was like something out of a, I don't know, crazy cat movie or something. Perpetual, you know how his undying love for Todd knows no bounds. We've canceled vacations over it and all that jazz. I don't need to resurrect that story, but he's concerned because Todd's kind of a thinner looking cat. Now, it's not like he's unhealthy. I think he's just built that way. He's not a heavy cat, you know, like Mars or Holstein, as we call her, and Louise is huge because she's Maine Coon. Todd's kind of an inbred camp cat. You know, he probably is a product of his mother and uncle or something. But at any rate, so Perpetual gets very concerned about this, of course. And now he is purchasing these little Meow Mix individual serving things. They're in a, well, I can't really, let me do this. They're in a container about like that, sort of, and I don't know about that deep. And there's all kinds of different flavors. It's soft cat food, and Todd knows exactly when he gets this. Generally before 8 o'clock in the morning, and then at 8 o'clock at night, he is really programmed to want his food. So I'm just schlepping around, making coffee and stuff, and half dead, and listening to the ridiculous fake news on ABC behind me, because Perpetual still lives for George Stephanopoulos. He doesn't really, but he has it on. So he opened up that little container of food, and Todd went up on, we have this cat perched under the window in there. I don't think I've ever done a video showing that, but yeah, please. Next thing I know, there's Louise on the table. I don't like cats on the table, ladies and gentlemen, but they're just freely allowed to do that now. Then Zoe comes gimping up in her, 17 years of age, totally surrounding Perpetual. It was hilarious, I'm sure. Louise's floating tail, Todd meowing, Zoe with her hideous old lady voice. The only one that did not approach was Mars. I just thought it was kind of adorable and thought I'd share it with you. Some of my cat lovers in the audience will appreciate it. Speaking of cats, is there anything else in the world, ladies and gentlemen, other than cats? I have decided to name Downstairs Kitty, and also because I was calling it Outdoor Kitty as well. Hold on. Pardon. Yeah, I just got sick of saying, come on, outdoor, and or downstairs, depending on the time of year. Downstairs more in the winter. He's a real pretty cat. He's a big, heavy, he's supposed to be bigger, you can tell. We probably are going to get him some warmer now that I've named him. He has a real big head, and he's like a black and brown tabby, and his feet are real big, but the rest of him is a little, that's the one I'd worry about, even though he's, not ours entirely. So, this cat has never let me pet him or anything. You walk out the door and he's eating food out front here, where the mice steal it. I love that. I love how the mice come up and steal the cat food. It's adorable. I live in a cartoon world, I guess. Bluebirds land on my shoulders in the morning and things like that. It's crazy. Yeah. So I finally got to approach Outdoor Kitty, and I named him Bernard, but I call him Bernie for short. So, at any rate, he was madly in love and rubbing against my hand and purring, and he marked me as his. It's real sweet, so I think I have a new cat that I'm in love with. But the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, Todd trembles at the sight of Bernard, and Joel, we just can't have that. So, although Joel did interact with Bernard this morning and was loving on him and stuff, and kind of trying to mind meld with him and tell him, please leave Todd alone. If Todd sees me doing this, the man actually turned to me and said, if Todd is looking from that window, he's going to be really upset. I'm sure, because he was loving on Bernie. It's too much. At any rate, nothing much to report, ladies and gentlemen. I actually was supposed to go to a party today, and I had every intention of going. And then I realized all the things I had to have done before noon, like my payroll and I forget what else. Something else that was, I forget. But this was on the paddle wheel called the Barbara J that goes around Conneaut Lake, where I live. And a friend of mine from 1,000 years ago is having a birthday party on there. It's over now. They rented the boat. So I did not go on that paddle wheel ride. That's sort of a main fee. I was thinking about the Barbara J today. I'm sure here I go off on another tangent. It's really become a part of our scenery here, our lore, folklore. Okay. So, sometimes I don't pronounce things right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to admit it freely and openly and honestly. Nicholas. You know who I'm talking to. Anyhow, yeah, I mean, all kinds of portraits and things that local artists do of the lake always include, or generally, the Barbara J. It was actually named after a woman. My parents were very close to this couple, Lloyd and Barb Holland. And I was real close to Jackie at one time, the daughter. Not that we're enemies now, we just don't hang a lot. But her brother and I do. He stops by. His name's Dave Holland. Hi, Dave Holland. I think he's a member of this little YouTube society. At any rate, yeah, it was named after Barbara Holland. So I just think it's kind of neat that little towns have these, I don't know, identifying marks or something, I guess you'd say. And my father was kind of an identifying mark of the town as well. He was a trumpet player and... Hold on again. Do you think I should quit smoking or just keep it up? Pardon. Okay. Yes, my father was a famous trumpet player in the area. That sounds funny. And he used to welcome in Santa Claus every year. They'd have him playing on the back of the fire truck on which Santa was riding and blah, blah, blah. And I lived in Houston. I remember Dad telling me that he used vodka to make sure that his valves didn't freeze up. I thought that was adorable. So, yeah, these are just little things and small town living has to offer. Of course, we've been taken over. The, I call it the new section of town, has been pretty much taken over by the corporations. Rite Aid takes up a city block that once housed our little Hauserman's Variety Store, which then became the Jacqueline Shop. And then the old post office was there. And there were, apartments above these places, very quaint and brick and adorable, and now it's a big old fat Rite Aid. And Sheetz, although Sheetz, the convenience store, I have to give them a little credit. They're regional, and they're a little more community-minded, I think. I would go ahead and say that boldly and honestly. And we have a Pizza Hut that used to be the pharmacy, whatever. Then we have the old area, the old town area that's very quaint and adorable, and in that area, there's that now and again gift shop where she talked me into going sleeveless. See? No, I was going sleeveless in front of you before because I feel like we're family. And I got some of the interesting repurposed furniture that she makes and all that. So, and there's all kinds of cute things down there. A little, the Vicavi coffee shop. My friend Mick lives for it. Boy, I'm just rambling now. I'm 8 minutes into this and there's really no point. Yeah, so it's a cute town. It's just a shame. I can remember, now that I've become more alert to what's going on around me, or as alert as I can be over the years, in terms of the Reagan Revolution and things like that, and how that trickled down. I'm still waiting to be peed upon, frankly. I would welcome it at this point. Yeah, it really, going back in time, I remember how, I didn't think much of it at the time, ladies and gentlemen. I graduated high school in 82. So whenever Mother went out of business, like her business started to go down like the beginning of the 80s and things like that. And I never really put two and two together until I was more, I guess, wise to the situation. About the malls really ran her out of business. And now we have Walmart running everybody out of business. And that brings me to this. We have a hardware store in Conneaut Lake that has been around since 1888, I believe. So I go there for any hardware needs. It's a little bit more money, but, that's because they don't buy 5 billion parts from China every other minute. So, and they let you have a charge. It's real cute. Sometimes I've been in a hurry, and it's like, PJ, that's the lady of the owner. Dick and PJ own it, and Dick is actually on Borough Council in Conneaut Lake. He's the president. But I've been in a hurry before, and I'm like, can you just forge my name to that and charge it? And she does, and it's really, quaint. Sometimes I used to get upset living in a small town, and because everybody knows your business and all that jazz. You can't get away with anything, and they tell your mom and all that kind of stuff. But really, I've called the bank before, and because I get my health insurance. It's called Workers with Disability because I have this pain condition and blah, blah, blah. So I pay a small premium, but it's through the state and you have to kind of prove your income and all. And I've actually called the bank and said, look, can get me the statement where I look the most poor kind of. And they, did it. Maybe I shouldn't have said that on the thing. It was a recent statement though. So I was well within in the law because they wanted a recent one. It just happened to be that, it was one of the, showing that I didn't make $1 million that month or something. So I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, how I got from cats to this. One never knows. My brother calls it the stream of consciousness, and I call it, what do I call it? Just bloviating without a subject, changing subjects swiftly. Oh, which reminds me about Dick didn't like that chicken. Do you want to hear that story now? I'll go ahead and tell it. Might as well. This might be the only video I do today. We're now 10 minutes and 50 seconds in, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you can stay with me this long. Not doing one in the morning, though, should make up for it. Because normally I do 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the afternoon, or 6 or 7. Okay. Mother is hilarious, as you probably feel like you know her by now. Okay. She tends to, sort of blurt things out that have literally nothing to do with the subject at hand. So, when I was younger, a teenager, my father and I think my sister was here, or, lived here. She lived in this house here. This is her house, actually. We rent from her. We were in the living room area of the home next door, and Mother was in the kitchen bustling about, and we were talking about whatever. There was a subject, though, in the living room, when suddenly, out of nowhere, Mother yells out, Dick didn't like that chicken. And we're like, we all kind of stopped what we were saying and asked, what? And she said, yeah, my friend Slim, her friend Slim Jackson, I gave her a recipe and she made it for her husband Dick, and he didn't care for the chicken. She wasn't near a chicken, making a chicken, clearly she was thinking of a chicken, but it had nothing. She was unloading the dishwasher. We don't know where it came from. So now, when somebody says something off topic, we turn to them and say, Dick didn't like that chicken, or Richa didn't care for the poultry, or whatever. So, okay, I guess that's all, ladies and gentlemen. What did I cover here? Cats, quaint towns, and Dick didn't like that chicken. Maybe I'll make that the title. What do you think? Okay. Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while coming... Oh, look, my little tan mark. While coming at you with thoughts of the day. And remember, join together with me, please, and drop your political identities so we can focus on issues and make this world a better place together. Love you.